All right, so in this video, we're going to talk about everyone as you pushed out in regards to money. I want you to start thinking about these things a little bit differently so you can manifest exactly what you want. Hey everyone, it's Kim Velez, Conscious Life and Success Coach, and I'm really excited to be here with you today. But before we dive in deep, if you feel like you need additional support, I definitely have many ways that I can support you other than my free YouTube and my free podcast, which I will be resuming again, the podcast at the end of this month. I do have, you are the prize. It's all about self-concept and self-love in regards to relationship online course. I also have my online course, How to Manifest Your SP Back and Keep Them for Good. I have an inner child masterclass if you want to do some healing from childhood trauma. Online course as well. I do have, one-on-one private video coaching, as well as a paid Facebook group where I jump in live twice a week, as well as a group coaching video membership. So what that entails is twice a month, we meet as a group, the people who are part of this group on Zoom, and you get hot seat laser coaching right then and there, and obviously a Q&A to support you manifesting and staying on point. All right, so all the info is below in the master list of all the services that I'm currently offering. All right, so let's talk about this. Let's look at money and everyone as you pushed out. A lot of people struggle with this, and this has been coming up a lot, so I wanted to share this with you. So we have to look at, one of the things I used to hate in the law of attraction communities, they're like, money is energy. And I'm like, well, what does that even mean? It just was so ambiguous and just not clear for me. And I want to make things very clear for everyone, which is why I explain everything the way I understand it, because it makes sense to me when I fucking understand things this way. So let's look at this. So who's behind money? People, right? People have to give you money. People have to, give you a promotion, decide to hire you, decide to give you a bonus. People are the ones that are handing over their hard-earned money to buy your products or services. People are deciding if they want to give you an extra, tip money. People are always the ones that are giving you money somehow, whether it's a company, an organization, an individual person, it doesn't matter. It's all about people. So I even had a client one time kind of challenge that and say, well, what happens with the lottery as well as jackpot, like hitting the jackpot at the casino or something? Well, it's still people, because there are people that have to hit the slots and do things, to set you up. So when you go play, you get the winning jackpot, right? So the algorithm kicks in or whatever. There's people when it comes to playing the lotto. Now, I personally don't play the lotto, but so I could be wrong with this, but from what I remember, I think they pull the numbers with the air balls, right? So that's still people having to select the number. So everyone is you pushed out with money. So you have to start thinking this. It's a good to affirm money comes to me easily and effortlessly. Money is always flowing in my life consistently every day. Money showing up in unexpected and expected ways. Definitely affirm things like that. You can get very specific and affirm that this is how much money I bring in every week. Even if you don't know how, it doesn't matter. You don't worry about the how always. You want to start just trusting and knowing how powerful you really are, and that if you're focusing and intending that this is going to happen, your consciousness is creating that reality for you. The 3D will conform. So people will want to give you their money because you're intending a reality, and your self-concept is someone that everyone gives their money to, someone that wants to buy your products and services, someone that wants to book with you, someone that wants to give you a raise, a promotion, someone who sees you as the most valuable employee, someone who sees you as amazing potential and really wants to start pulling you up in the ranks in the company that you work for. Whatever it is that you want, because not everybody wants to be, an entrepreneur. You don't have to, but even in your own industry where you work, you could be the top selling agent, that means clients have to think and want to work with you and close the deal with you. So everyone is you pushed out with money. So start creating a fucking story that this is who you are in your reality and this is how people see you. Now, a lot of times people will say to me okay, well, what if I feel resistance? Like if I'm affirming I want a certain dollar amount daily or monthly or whatever it is, and I feel like, oh, I don't really believe that. Listen, again, years ago, when I followed more law of attraction and understood from their perspective, I would tell people, or for me personally, I would say, oh, I can't manifest that dollar. I need to make it less than, until I felt comfortable internally with that number. Now, for me personally, you do what you want, because this is about you creating your own reality and doing what feels the best way for you. But I don't subscribe to that at all anymore. And I stopped doing it a long time ago, because if I'm the creator of my reality and I want to be specific about a dollar amount, then why would I not affirm that a dollar amount? Now, I always say or more, because I'm okay with getting more. But I'm never gonna, because the reality is this: if you've never made this much money before, then you're not going to believe it. The same way we talk about, if you look at my other videos where I talk about resistance is just you're creating a new story in your mind, a new belief system, a new thought pattern that you're not used to thinking, and you haven't lived this in your life consistently, so you're not going to agree with it. You're going to have doubts about it. That's what resistance is. It doesn't mean that you should not affirm that. And that is the bullshit that they have been preaching to us for a long time, especially in the law of attraction community. So you can be very specific, because the more you affirm it and you start seeing money come in, even if it's not that specific dollar amount, you persist in it until it hardens into fact. But you will start, creating more believability in everyone as you push out, especially around money, when you see birds before land, when you start experiencing more money coming to you from all different sources and places. So this is how you really start mastering this in all areas of your life, is basically training your mind to focus on what it is that you want. And you just persist in it until you get what you want. And not listening to those limiting beliefs, or when those limiting beliefs show up, that you flick them to the side. I just got off the phone with one of my close friends. She's a beautiful, amazing, smart woman. And she knows what I do for a living. And I'm actually starting a second business right now that has nothing to do with coaching. And she was like, what do you think about this? So I was just kind of talking to her about my perspective, but she had a lot of limiting beliefs, right? She was like, yeah, she had started an online business years ago and just kind of stopped because she felt overwhelmed, which is totally normal. I have felt overwhelmed. We all do when we start something new that we're not familiar with, right? But I kind of had to remind her and call her out in a loving way, like, you got a lot of limiting beliefs. She was doing the common stuff that people tend to do, is like, well, I know people who started and they failed. I said, well, they only failed because they gave up. Because like I said, when I started my coaching business, I made no money the first 8 months. I made no money, but I didn't give up. If I would have gave up, I wouldn't be sitting here right now. I never give up on me. If it's something I want to do, I stick it the fuck out until I get it. And this is the mindset to adopt with everything, no matter what it is that you want to manifest, is you don't give up on it until you hold that fucking vision until it manifests fully in your experience. So there's going to be doubts. There's going to be ways that your mind is going to want to tell you there's no way this can happen. It's only because you have not experienced it. So if other people have experienced it, that means you can. And those people are not special. There isn't any magic sauce. They just had the fucking belief system, or not even that. They had the mindset that said, I'm going to get this. And they persisted until it hardened into fact. And that's the difference with people, is the fucking mindset. Your mind is what creates your reality. So if you train yourself to have a mindset that no matter what, you don't give up on what the fuck you want, whether it's more money, love, creating an amazing fucking life for yourself, you're going to get it if you don't give up. And you have to train your brain, no matter what your 3D is showing you, to persist in that story. Now, it is easier said than done on some days, but you still have to push through. I've had days as an entrepreneur, like I wanted to throw my laptop out the window because it was frustrating. And I work 7 days a week and have for fucking 2 years in this business, and I don't care. I love it. I'll do it. And now I'm creating a second business that I've always wanted to do. So now I'm still going to work 7 days a week, but I don't care. This is the reality I want to create for myself. And this excites me. And this is what it means to live a limitless life. Now, we all have different perspectives of what that limitless life is for you, right? So you don't have to copy my limitless life if it doesn't match for you, because I'm going to be a serial entrepreneur. It's something I've always wanted to do. So you don't have to do that if that's not your cup of tea. But I want you to look at yourself and fucking pause this video and write out if I live the life that I actually want to live, what the fuck does that look like? And start focusing on it, start intending, I kind of went from money into creating your best life possible. But the more money you have, the more options you have, the more opportunities you have, the more experiences you have, the more you just don't even know what's unfolding. So start really training your mind to focus on all the abundance, to focus on the opportunity that's out there. To when you look at, all the money that's out in the world, don't look at it in a way of shortage. Look at it as, yes, it can come to me. It's coming to everyone else. I can get more of it. I just got to focus my mind and watch how it unfolds. And that's the beauty of it. Some ways you may prefer over other ways how it unfolds, but nevertheless, you're going to see how powerful your mind is and watch your 3D conform to the new story. And then you get to fucking decide if you're going to take the money from over here or take it over there, or, engage in it this way. Now, if you want to be specific, like I said, if you're somebody who works for someone else and you love what you do, that is beautiful. But if you want more money, or you want a different position within that company, or whatever it is for you, start fucking affirming that. Start focusing on that. Start seeing yourself as the employee that they choose for this position, even if it's a position that is not available. I have personally manifested that when I was a therapist and I worked at an agency. I worked the first about 3 years as a primary therapist, meaning my schedule was Monday through Thursday from like 7:30 in the morning till I would work till like 8 o'clock at night. And I had my own caseload of clients. So I had about 10 to 15 clients that I managed and worked with, therapy every single day and their families. So after a couple of years of that, I was kind of tired of that life of coming home from work so late, even though I had 3 days off. I just didn't want it anymore. So I went to my supervisor and was like, listen, I don't want to do this anymore. So at that time, I wanted to work with the families, and their job, their role was Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 5. So I'm like, at least I can get off work early and have some semblance of a life like after work, right? So when I went to my supervisor, he was like, listen, they don't have any positions open. They're all filled. And I was like, all right. So I didn't let the 3D dissuade me, right? I didn't be like, oh my God, fuck it, now I'm stuck. What am I going to do, right? In my brain, I'm just like, all right, I'll figure it out. I'm going to get this position. Well, I went on a 2-week vacation. I don't know, like a week or so later, I went to Greece and Italy, which was fucking amazing. And when I came back, the supervisor of the family department came to me the day I came back, and she was like, I heard you were looking for a position in my department. And I was like, yes. And I'm thinking, did they fire someone? What happened? And they didn't fire anyone. They actually created an additional opening for me, because I fucking manifested that shit. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. And I was able to transition and move and work under her in her department that I wanted, because everyone as you pushed out, I saw myself as, I'm going to get what I want. I stuck to the fucking story. I didn't have an opposing story against it. I'm just like, I'll get it. It'll work itself out. And I manifested that in 2 weeks, basically, them deciding to create an extra position just for me. So this is what I'm trying to help you understand, is that your mind is so powerful. You are the operant power of your reality. Whatever you want, you can have. You just have to affirm and stick it out. Don't doubt it. You're going to doubt it sometimes, but try not to doubt it too much, and really just stick to the story, especially the stories where there's lots of opposing thoughts. That's where the reprogramming has to come in, and you really putting in that mental effort of, nope, I'm going to get what I want. Nope. Even if you just say that, even if every time you're like, oh my God, is this going to work? Nope, I'm going to get what I want. Yes, I'm going to get what I want. I'm going to get what I want. I'm getting what I want. Fuck that. I'm getting what I want. If you just say that, you're going to get what you want. So everyone is you pushed out when it comes to money. This whole world is filled with people that run everything, okay? That every interaction you have, even if it's something online, it's a business. You're buying something, consuming something, engaging in something, having a service provided for you from someone. Like, it's always coming from a human. Everything is. So everyone is you pushed out. Focus on what you want. Affirm, affirm, affirm that everybody gives me their money. I'm the most sought after, whatever. My business sales are increasing every single day. Whatever it is, I am the one that gets the promotion. They offer me the new job position. I am the most valued, best employee. I shared another story where I had a client who she was really struggling at her job. This was over a year ago. She felt she was going to get fired. She was being reprimanded and she was miserable at work. And I was like, well, do you want to leave the job? And she was like, no. And I said, then you need to be affirming, see yourself as a valued employee. So she changed her self-concept. She started affirming, I'm a valued employee. I'm valued. I'm valued. I'm a valued employee. Within a month, her 3D started conforming at her job. People were transferred. People were fired. They stopped reprimanding her. They started praising her for her work. She got a fucking promotion. Fast forward a year later, she's still thriving in her job. She loves her work environment. Everybody treats her as, you know, an amazing employee, and she's happy. And I think she got another raise since then too. All because she changed her self-concept and saw herself, affirmed herself as a valuable employee. Everyone is you pushed out. When she made that decision and persisted in that story, everything had to conform and reflect that story back to her. All right. So I hope you found this video helpful. Please like, share, and subscribe if you did, and I will see you in the next one.